Hello everyone, myself Varshini. Today we are going to discuss about Veratrum album. Introduction: its common name is white hellebore and it is great remedies for collapse and pain. Prover Hahnemann, family Melanthacea. Constitution: it does not have any importance in constitution but especially suited to young and old people, that is extremities of life. Temperament: nervous and sanguine temperament. Sphere of action: it acts especially on blood and nervous system. Pathogenesis: it causes disorganization of blood and separates its constituent components. Miasm is Sora and thermals is chilly patient. Coming to the guiding symptoms, it is a perfect picture of collapse with extreme coldness, blueness and weakness. It is given to post-operative shock with cold sweat on the forehead, pale face, rapid and feeble pulse. Cold perspiration on the forehead with nearly all the complaints, vomiting, purging and cramps in the extremities. And there is corporophagia with violent mania alternates with silence and refusal to talk. Coming to the mind, melancholy with stupor and mania, sullen indifference and curses perpetual mania are observed, along with mania with desire to cut and tear things, which is also there in tarantula, and attacks of pain with delirium driving the patient into madness. Delusions of impending misfortune is observed. Coming to the head, contracted features, cold sweat on the forehead and sensation of lump of ice on the vertex which is apoplexy, and headache with nausea, vomiting, diarrhea and pale face is observed. Coming to the eyes are surrounded by dark rings, staring turned upwards during epileptic conditions, and lids are dry and heavy. Lacrimation with hyperemia is observed. Coming to the face, icy coldness of tip of the nose and face is very blue and collapsed. Coming to the mouth, tongue is pale and there is sensation of peppermint dry in the center, not relieved by water, and toothache, teeth feel heavy as if filled with lead. Coming to the stomach, there is ferocious appetite, thirst for cold water but vomited as soon as it is swallowed, and they averse to warm food, and hiccups are observed. Copious vomiting and diarrhea aggravated by drinking and least motion. Craves juicy and cold things, ice and salt. Anguish in the pit of the stomach, and there is gastric irritability with chronic vomiting of food. Great weakness after vomiting is observed. Coming to the abdomen, there is sinking and empty feeling in the abdomen, along with cold feeling in the stomach and the abdomen, cramps, knotting abdomen and legs. Sensation as if hernia would protrude, which is also seen in nux vomica, and abdomen is sensitive to pressure, swollen with terrible colic. Coming to the stool, stools are large, very much straining till exhausted with cold sweat. Constipation in babies due to very cold weather, which is also seen in Lycopodium and Nux. Diarrhea, which is very painful, watery, copious and forcibly evacuated, followed by great prostration. Evacuations of cholera morbus and true cholera when vomiting accompanies the purging. Coming to the female symptoms, dysmenorrhea with coldness, purging and cold sweat is observed. Menses is too early, profuse and exhausting. Coming to the respiratory, there is abundant mucus in the bronchial tubes that cannot be coughed up. Chronic bronchitis in the aged, and there is loud barking in the stomach cough, followed by eructation of gas, worse in the warm room. And cough comes from drinking especially cold water, and urine escapes when coughing, cough on entering warm room, and from cold air, which is also seen in bryonia. Coming to the heart symptoms, pulse is irregular and feeble. Tobacco heart from chewing tobacco, and the heart in feeble people with hepatic obstruction, and one of the best heart stimulus in homeopathic doses. Extremities, sciatic pain like electric flashes and cramps in the calves, soreness and tenderness of joints, and neuralgia and brachial plexus. Arm feels swollen, cold and paralytic. Fever. Coming to the fever, the chill with extreme coldness and thirst is observed. It is mostly seen in congestive or pernicious intermittent fever. Skin is blue, cold, clammy and inelastic, cold as death, and wrinkling of the skin, hands and feet, and deathly pallor of the face is observed. Coming up to the modalities, aggravation worse at night, wet, cold weather, and amelioration from better walking and warmth. Coming to the relationships, it is given after arsenic album, arnica, cinchona, cuprum and epicock, after camphor in cholera morbus, and after ammonium carb, carbovage and bovista in dysmenorrhea with vomiting and purging. As we can see here, there is a difference between camphor, veratrum and cuprum. In camphor there is dry cholera with coldness, blueness and scanty sweat. In veratrum there is copious, profuseness, blueness, coldness are present in veratrum album, and stools are scanty, entirely absent in camphor. Stools are profuse like rice water, and the patient sinks down, dies without exhaustive discharges is seen in camphor. And short extreme coldness, blueness, weakness, arid excessiveness of all discharges make to think of veratrum in cholera, and scanty discharges with coldness, blueness, collapse indicate camphor. Coming to cuprum metallicum, camphor is indicated mostly for collapse, veratrum for evacuation and vomiting, and cuprum for cramps in cholera or cholera infantum. And the pains are very terrible. As you can see, trio of cholera is camphor, veratrum and cuprum. And here is the mnemonic for veratrum. V is indicated for violent vomiting and diarrhea, E for extreme exhaustion and extreme coldness, R for rice watery stools, A for abdomen pain with preceding stool, T for thirst for large quantities of cold water but vomited when swallowed, R for rattling in the chest, U for unquenchable thirst, and M for mania to cut and tear things. Thank you.